Hello, everybody. I'm back again. I know it's been a while since I posted. I just been really, really busy. Um, and I know I wanted to talk about more academic subjects, but I still have not had time to do any of those things. But we will. We will. Um, so the purpose of this video today, it's I'm making this during a waning moon phase where the moon goes onto a new moon where it's like black, okay, where there's like not a lot of light coming from the moon. So this is if you watched my tutorials, that you would know that this is the time that we gotta like release everything and get rid of things that are not very good for you. So I have a black candle right here, and I'm also drinking some lime and lemongrass tea. And if you had the reference books, you would know that they have purification properties. So we're doing some work right here. Um, Hopefully this video can give you advice, good advice. Hopefully this gives value. I think that this has a lot of value to it because um, I've seen a lot of things. I've been through a lot of things, and I've noticed people usually get frustrated with me. And that's when I realized I never told anyone what happened. People get frustrated with me in the way that they're like, oh, you're always going through something bad. You're always crying. You're always depressed, right? So people get like annoyed. But that's when I realized, like, oh, wait, I never tell people what happened. And I've seen a lot of, like, over the years, I've seen a lot of people just talk about their stories and they seem to have a lot of success with it. So, um, I guess we're gonna get some work done. Um, so, I'll also update you on more current events at the end of the video. At the end of the video, I'll tell you more recent things, and that's pretty crazy too. It's an entire thing. um, I saw one person um, a few days ago, or like a week ago. She was talking about how all these little things pile up. It's not like it's not like one big problem. It is more like a lot of different things that pile up that really just weigh you down. Um, and I guess that basically is it, you know. Also, I'll go into the ways that I bend over backwards to make sure that I am not in a worse situation. And I feel like that's really, really valuable advice because I've managed to like weasel and like fit through the cracks. Like, not like in a bad way, but you know, I can like fit myself into any little situation. I can slide myself out of anything. Like, I feel like no matter how bad the situation is, I will find a way. And so I'll go deeper into that and teach you how I basically like fix things out of nowhere. Even if you think it feels like it's the worst thing ever and you could not possibly do it, but there is a way. There's always a way. And I'll tell you all like the little ways that I had to like, fix it. Um, let's see. So, I had a bit of a panic attack today, and I had to like come home and like fix my breathing and just like lay down in bed for a minute so I could like go really deep inside of myself and like figure out what I was even like doing, like what to do. Um, for the past few days, I've been blacking out a little bit because I'm under a lot of pressure, but I kind of like fixed that like 5 minutes ago. I came up with a new solution where I can uh, slide my way through something bad. Um, yeah, just 5 minutes ago, like I figured out a brand new solution where I can magically fix everything again. Usually it goes like that. It's like a roller coaster of like emotions where I get really freaked out. I don't know what to do. Like something bad is gonna happen. I'm freaking out. I can't breathe. Like, and then I just fix it, and I'm like, okay, well everything's fine now. Um, yeah. So yeah, I fixed it again like 5 minutes ago, which was kind of crazy that I like did that. I always do that. I know I do that every single time, but every single time I still get scared. So, yeah, people get mad at me. People get really frustrated with me and they have no idea what's going on. People, I know, people just like assume. Like when you don't talk, when you don't say anything, people will just assume. And then they kind of give me a hard time, but at some point I just learned to like just stop listening to people. I can like I can sometimes hear people spiritually like yelling at me or like bullying me, saying like "shut up, we don't care," and like, the whole ordeal. Like, oh, no one cares about you, and blah blah blah, and this is funny, your pain is funny. At some point, you just like learn to ignore it. Yeah. I stop listening to people, even people who seem like they're trying to help, people who mean well. I stop listening to them too because as you can tell from my tutorials and all of my knowledge and my books, like I don't need to hear it. I don't need to hear it. Uh, it's kind of funny when people like try to help me because I'm like, yeah, whatever. I know they mean well, but they don't know what they're talking about. I would know better. Hopefully that encourages someone to also be the same way and have that type of confidence in themselves. So, the story, right, right. Sometimes I make jokes like this is hilariously bad. Like it's so bad to the point where like it's kind of funny. Like how is it that bad? How is your life that bad? Um it's not that funny though. Um I'm a Gemini sun. Uh I have Gemini in my chart and in the Mercury too. So, yeah. Um I have like those two sides. Okay, the way that Geminis work is comedy embodiment, which is like the happy side, and then it's also tragedy embodiment, which is like the sad side. So I kind of switch. People get confused. They're like, "Oh, you're crazy," or "Oh, you don't mean what you say." Like, yeah. Uh, Sometimes everything is funny, and sometimes everything is a tragedy. There's like you just gotta let it. You just gotta roll with it. You just gotta roll. Just go with it. It doesn't have to make sense. People try to make sense of that all the time. Like, but it's like, let's see. Okay, so hilariously bad. Hilariously bad. So bad. It's so bad. I guess this is like a trigger warning. Yeah, pretty bad. I don't know. Okay, listen. Listen. This is why I'm talking right now is that I need to like tell people how I was able to fit myself through the tightest cracks and get through. a lot of really horrible things. Like, I am not disabled. Physically, I'm not disabled. I'm not in a wheelchair. I'm not mentally disabled. Like, I can do math or whatever, right? Um, I'm not homeless. And I'm not ugly. Like, okay. Now, how did I do that? How did I go through all of that? How did I go through? Hilariously, like, unimaginable. How did I do that? And maybe hopefully will prevent some homelessness because I don't like seeing that. It's really hard for me to see people. Oh, okay, listen, when I'm out and about and I'm like just doing my responsibilities, I've seen homeless people, and okay, there was one time where it was the most chilling, like where it was just like, so it was like a horror movie, but like in real life, where you see homeless people screaming in pain. Now I've seen that, and like they're just like holding their body, like they're holding their side, they're holding their stomach, and they're screaming, it hurts so bad, it hurts so bad. Yeah, so hopefully we're gonna prevent that. I will be, you know, like I'll try my best here. I'll do everything I can, and I'll share with you all like the crazy ways that I think that people would think like, oh, that's stupid or that doesn't work. It does. It does. Um, yeah. So hopefully we don't do that. Okay. So what happened to me? All right. So I, like for when I could remember, everything was like cool. Like, okay, my parents that raised me, my real birth parents, they had a big house. My dad had a good job. Um, we were chilling and we were living it up for my younger years, like when I was really, really small. And then my parents just like kept fighting and they broke up, and that's when everything just went downhill. And if it couldn't go more downhill than that, like it got really bad. Like ever since then it got really bad. So um my life has been pain and suffering for like 12 years ish, or like 15 years, but I was very small when it all started. But through my developmental stages I was actually taken care of pretty well. So I was pretty lucky for that. But you know people give up, people get tired, people get real tired, and they don't want to do it anymore. But yeah, they held on. My parents held on for a while, just so I can like not be smush baby. They waited until I was like old enough to like get myself food from the fridge and things like that, whatever. But yeah, they divorced and they were always fighting, and in fact it was pretty brutal. My my mom, she's not here anymore. I miss her. She couldn't handle it. Um, I'm not entirely sure what happened because as a kid, all I remember was like them screaming through the doors and stuff, and I was just in my room. Um, and I was just like laying there listening to this. But there were claims of like violence and very, very scary stuff between two parents, two married people. But yeah, they divorced, and my mom couldn't handle it, and she started taking pills because she was getting sick from all the stress. Because, okay, listen, that was her whole life. That, like, me and my sister, my brother, my sisters, her kids and her husband was her whole life, right? That's your whole life. Your family is your whole life. And so the fact that everything broke apart. It like she couldn't handle it. She couldn't handle everything in her life just like being destroyed. Um, I have a reason to believe that my dad that my dad was kind of guilty for all of this, because we'll talk about that later. Um, yeah, so my mom started abusing like drugs, or I don't know if she like really needed them. I think she did, but she was definitely popping pills a lot, and she didn't have a job, and she was getting so sick. I've seen my mom like bleed from her ears, bleed from her eyes. Like, my mom was in bad shape. She, like, all she could do at one point, all she could do was just like, I just watched her decline, and she could just lay in bed. She's like, oh, I need another nap. She would just sleep all day. She would pop Xanax and like sleep all day. And she had like a few other things, like Effexor, and she had like, I don't know, she was just like taking pills. And she would barely eat, which makes you start to think. My brother said this actually. My brother said this makes you start to think what's in those pills. um, but yeah, my mom wasn't very there. It was crazy growing up. We ended up becoming very poor. My mom actually got custody while was my dad was on house arrest. My dad was on house arrest, and so my mom got custody even though she was popping pills and she was sick. She was still relying on child support while my dad was on house arrest, and then the money dried up. So I grew up really, really, really poor. Um, and all my friends at school, like at first they were nice to me, and then over time, uh, they started getting annoyed with me because I always want to be at your house, and can I borrow your makeup? Can I borrow your clothes? And I was like doing that as like a sister thing with one of my friends, until her mom was like, hey, she can't be using all your stuff anymore. She doesn't live here, things like that, which I understand. But I guess I really didn't notice as a kid, that like how poor I actually was, and like everybody started to hate me because of that, because they thought I was using them. Oh yeah, and then all of a sudden I am a user because I didn't really, like, I was a kid, I didn't really understand that I am poor. um, yeah, it was felt pretty bad. Like, we barely had things to eat. It was like super. Our pipes would freeze over in the winter. We couldn't afford like heat. We couldn't afford like AC. Um, yeah, and my mom was just like laying in bed sleeping because she was just taking pills. Um, yeah. So that was really horrible. And like, I'm going to school the whole time too. Like, there were times where like I don't even want to get into it. It was so bad. And that really like messed with my mental health. Like, I was getting pretty depressed, and I was like acting out a little bit. Like, there were like a few times. Like, I was pretty stable though. Like, even even though I was like basically like getting neglected. Okay, I was getting neglected. I grew up neglected. And man, so because of all the neglect that I went through, there have been like maybe like a handful of times. Well, I was neglected, so I had like some type of empathy in me. I was still like pretty normal, like, don't get in trouble, and be nice. Don't get in trouble. But there were like a few handful of times where the neglect actually got to my head, and I would act out maybe like a handful of times. And uh, I guess I was just a kid, whatever. Um, let's see. And then this is where things like really got bad. Like things didn't really get better. Nothing got better. It was just getting progressively worse and worse and worse over the course of like 15 years. Yeah, so, but it made me very deep in my personal relationships. The fact that I was getting neglected, it meant that like I didn't care about like money or status or anything. Like I was more like, who are you? Like what type of friend are you? Who are you in your heart? Rather than what do you have? I didn't really care about what I had. I cared about how your heart was, which I thought was like kind of beautiful and whatever. I thought that was kind of nice. So I felt like I had a little more empathy than maybe the average person because like I understood pain or whatever. Um, that's why like I couldn't like understand people who I don't know who were materialistic. I never had it, so I never thought it was important, which kind of is there are levels to it. Um, Anyways, moving on with the story. As I got like older, like my teenage years, I had uh, one really really horrible boyfriend. Mm. And now I was like in middle school, and the very first time he bullied me, okay, this dude would just bully me for years for like no reason. He was a roller coaster. Now, the first time that this boyfriend bullied me, now I've had other boyfriends that they were like normal, like okay, not all of my exes are bad. In fact, I'm still friends with a lot of them and they're still really cool. They're like, hey, what's going on? They're like really nice. So I've only had two really, 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 really like criminal exes. So yeah, not all my exes were bad. Um, that's how I know it's not me. It's not me. It's not me. I've heard it a lot. If you're like a victim, you're gonna hear it all the time. Oh, maybe it's you. Maybe it's you. Maybe you deserve it. Maybe you did this to yourself. Nah, no. The numbers don't make sense. I don't like victim blaming. And plus, I like at this time I was a kid. Like, what do you expect from me? Like, really, what do you want me to do? Get a job? Get my own apartment? Get my own car? I'm a kid. Like, really? Okay. That's why I don't victim blame. I don't victim blame like that. I cannot stand that. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. If I'm still friends with a lot of my exes and like we're cool and normal, and if I only had two really bad ones, then how could it be me? I don't know. I feel like I was just like put into something that I had like no control over. I was definitely put into something that I was like just thrown around like a rag doll. I was thinking like a little bit ago, I was thinking like, wow, people like humans, they just get thrown around. Like they just throw around humans, they don't care. Like they just beat us up. Are we really just here to experience pain? Because I don't believe in pain. I don't believe in causing pain. Um, and since I've been like vegan, it's actually a very beautiful feeling that I'm not interested in supporting pain. I'm still vegan. I'm coming up to like a year and like a month or something, a year and a few months. But it's a very special feeling. People laugh at veganism all the time. They like straight up don't get it. But it's not a joke. Veganism is not a joke. Like, I can actually feel compassion or something like that. It's a very special feeling. And I wish more people would try it instead of just being like, oh, it's a joke. It's not. It's a very beautiful, special thing. Now, I can say that I don't support pain. I don't support suffering. If you wanted to learn how to become vegan, I have other tutorials on my channel. I'll teach you exactly how to do it. Yeah, look at my other videos. I teach you exactly how to do it the correct way. I do need to like talk about that a little more too, because I did make a few adjustments, because of course this is my first time, my first year being vegan, so we need to make a few adjustments here and there, but obviously I'm not having any problems. I'm definitely here. So yeah, okay. This horrible ex. Okay, I was in middle school, and dude, I don't know what type of like Illuminati has sent this person to me. Like, okay, yeah. What type of evil dark force, like this dude was sent from hell itself. I I didn't know what to, like, I'm a kid. What am I supposed to do? But like, this guy was sent from hell. The devil's spawn. Horrible person. I don't know how he has friends. He's actually famous on the internet, which was like hard for me. Like, me being his victim, and then I had to like watch him become successful after abusing me, like hurting me. That was so hard. That was so hard. And I was like younger when I saw that. That was so hard for me to do. Like, everything was so hard for like 15 years. Like, yes, people go through hard things for 20 years, 30 years. That's what people don't understand. That's why when people like, oh, you're always sad. Oh, you're always crying. Oh, you're always going through something. Like, oh, what? You're always having a sob story. Yeah, like, it's definitely possible, and it's definitely not their fault. Not their fault. No, not their fault at all. Um, no, not their fault. Yeah, so, man, dude was sent from hell. Yeah. The first time, okay, this dude would break up with me and get back with me all the time. And I'm just a kid. Okay, at that time, I was so young and they did not have research. Okay, there was a time before we had research on abusive partnerships. There was a time. There was a time before people researched anything about a narcissist. People didn't know what that was. It wasn't like a popular term. So that was before the research. So people would love to criticize 4444. Sorry, I just saw 444. So people love to criticize victims on like, oh, why didn't you know this about narcissism, or why didn't you know that about bad people? Like, because there was a time before we had any of that research, and I was still just a kid. Oh yeah, I'll go buy my own apartment. Yeah, like, really, why are we victim blaming? It doesn't make any sense. How would that make any sense? No, okay, so this was before the research of people actually getting out of, yeah, okay, right? So I'm here as a kid. I don't know what to do. I'm like, forgiveness, right? Don't fight people, forgive them. You need to use your kindness, right? That's all I got. That's all I got as a kid. That's all I got. So I was like constantly forgiving this guy. Hopefully, like, oh, he'll change. Like, okay. I believed in him. I was like, you can do it. You can change. You can become better. And then all the research came out after the damage. Thanks. Yeah. Just my luck. What a time to be alive. What a time for me to be alive. Oh, the research comes after the damage. Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. See, this is what I'm saying. It's hilariously, like, how is it that bad? Come on. So, this guy, he was horrible. I just look back on that, damn. So yeah, the first time he bullied me, I threw up. So what he did, sorry I'm having trouble with this. What he did, because like this is stuff that I can't think of. Okay, this is the hard thing. This is the hard thing. So how does someone think to do that? And he was out there thinking he was smart too. He would do the unthinkable, like things that, like, you know, be nice, don't get in trouble. Okay, so why would he think to do that? Like, I could not imagine thinking of doing that. But he's like, oh yeah, I'm a genius. I thought of doing something that people don't do. Like, yeah. Um, so what he did, there was a new girl at the school, and he pointed over to her, and he's like, "Oh, do you see that ugly girl right there?" And I looked over at her, and I'm like, I don't really think she's ugly, but I guess like I see a girl." And then he's like, "Yeah, whatever, exactly." And then he like left, and then he said I was like breaking up with you, and I was like, okay. Um, what he meant by that, because the girl wasn't ugly, so he was like, yeah, exactly, she's not ugly, it's you. You're the ugly girl, and not her. He was like, oh yeah, do you see the ugly girl? Oh no, you don't see her? Do you see the ugly girl? Um, you don't see her? Yeah, because that's you. Yeah, but she's looking at you, because you're ugly. And then he broke up with me and then started dating her and then tried to rub her in my face. And the first time he did that, like, the very next day after he did that, I woke up and I like started throwing up. I was so confused. My mom was like freaking out. She's like, "Are you pregnant?" I'm like, "No, I haven't even done that." And like no, my mom was so like pilled out that she thought like I was pregnant or whatever. I'm like, "No." She made me take a test and stuff. She was flipping out, and it came back negative. I'm like, "No, he is a vile person. He physically made me sick." I was still so innocent, you know, when you're like a fresh young kid and you haven't gone through anything, and that was like your first trauma. That was like your first like personal attack. I like threw up. Like that dude made me very sick. A lot. Um, I've never made anyone throw up. Like projectile vomiting. Crazy. Um, Yeah. So we would be like, okay, and then he came back. He came back after that, like after like a week, he broke up with her, and it was horrible. Like he was an evil guy. He was an evil guy, but he covered it up with like humor. That was like his thing. Like, oh, I'm evil, I'm bad, but I made a joke. Now everybody's laughing. Now it's okay. Yeah, horrible. Like he would do like horrible things to people and be like, "Oh, it's a joke. It's a joke." Yeah. Hmm. What a guy. But, you know, he came back to me a week after he dated her. He dated her for like a week. He came back to me and he said, I broke up with her. Can we get back together? I know what I did was really messed up. And I was like, oh, you thought that was messed up? Like, oh yeah, like, why would you do that? right? Like, oh yeah, why would you do that? That's like really horrible. And so I'm like, yeah, I forgive you. Like, it's really big of you to say that you're sorry. Oh, you're sorry? Thank you. Hopefully things will be better this time. Oh my God. Like, okay, break up, come back, break up, come back. And then he also framed me saying that I was obsessed with him and that I was always making him come back, which was not true because he would come to me and ask for me back. But he would just go lie to everybody and said that I was crazy and obsessed, even though he was asking for me back. And that was like still the time where it's like, oh, forgive people, you need to be kind, maybe they're just having a bad day. I was always, as a kid, like I was so understanding, so innocent, you're so understanding. Maybe they're just having a bad day, they'll feel better later. You gotta forgive them, right? It's just a bad day. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, like I did not understand the extent of like how deranged these people were. I did not understand like how bad they were. It's just a bad day. They'll get over it. It's fine. No, they're always like that. They were like that for 10 years. They're like that for 15 years. They're probably still like that today. And it's been like 15 years, 12 years, whatever. They're probably, if you talk to them, they're probably still the same. His name was Sean. His name is Sean. His name was Sean. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I don't even care. He deserves to be talked about because, oh my God, how can you be that bad? Man, I'm innocent. I am an innocent person. But he was bullying me so hard. And like, okay, at some point he was like doing the back and forth, like break up, get back, break up, come back, go away, come back. And he was doing that so much that I was getting really depressed and I felt horrible about myself. Like he perfectly designed that to make me feel ugly, I am worthless, I am stupid. He just nailed it in my head. He was, you're ugly, you're stupid, you're worthless, like all the time, all the time. And so after like a few times of him like, go away, come back, go away, come back, and I'm like, I forgive you, what's going, why, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? At some point I started like posting on my social media like, he is a horrible person. He is a horrible person. And then his mom was like, you gotta stop posting this about him. These are lies. These are lies. I'm not lying, lady. Your son is the spawn of the devil. Your son is a demon spawn. I am not lying. I am not lying. And she's like, oh, you gotta take these posts down about him. You're lying. And I'm like, oh, woman, you're the reason why he's like that. Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense. Also, I'm just an innocent child and I'm scared, and then I don't want to be at my own house because my mom's popping pills and I have no food. Not that I was like eating their food. Like I was like more of like, oh, don't serve me or like don't give me anything. I would hate to impose. I would hate to like take things from people. I was always like that. I was like, oh man, I don't want anything. I don't know. Man. Oh man. What a guy. What a guy. And then, oh yeah, it got worse. He was getting so bad. And he was like, oh, forgive me. I am a new person. I love you. I love you. I love you. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this went on and off for about like 3 years. Or like 4. I think it was like 3 years because we went into high school together and he was still playing me. He was still like, oh, you know what he would do? He'd be like, oh, I'm breaking up with you. I'll go rub a new girl in your face and that was messed up. Come back. Yeah. Also, I'm a Gemini, so I don't like being alone. So I was like, okay. we had fun. Like, we were actually like a good couple, I'm not gonna lie. Like, okay, people are like, oh, why are you putting yourself through this? Listen, we were a good couple. I'm a Gemini, he was Aquarius. We were a good couple. We were a good couple. And so that's like, I was always like hanging on to that. I'm like, what's going on? Like, why are you having like these moments? Like, why are you like up and down and up and down and up and down all over the place? Like, why can't you just be regular like me? Because I was probably the person in his life that taught him how to have long-term relationships, like a long-term boyfriend, a long-term relationship. So I'm like sitting here looking at this guy like, what are you doing? Why are you like, oh, go away, come back? Like, no, when I am in a relationship, I expect to stay there forever. It's kind of a big deal. It's a big deal. So I know. So yeah, he would break up with me. Oh, look at this new girl. She's so much better than you. You are so worthless compared to new girl. Oh, I broke up with her. She's not like you, baby. Come back. And I'm like, yeah, we make a great couple. Why are you doing this? Like, I'm like, what's going on? We make a great team. Well, why are you doing this? No idea. Yeah. Anyways, I eventually got myself out of that. But oh, during that whole time, he was just like bullying me. Like, he would lie. He would say that I'm lying about him, even though like I'm like, this guy's crazy. This guy's crazy. You know. And then he would go like gossip about me. He would like try to make me look bad. He would take things that I did. Like, okay, I would stand up for myself sometimes. Sometimes I would get really, really tired of him, and I'll be like, you know what? I'll fight you back. You know what? I'll fight you back. Like, we would argue. I would fight him back a lot. At some point, I got Scorpio in my chart too. Maybe sometimes I'll get tired of you. Um, yeah, so I decided to like argue back. And then he would take me standing up for myself and say that I was bad. And so he would go and gossip to all the other kids at school. And like all the other kids would like start to hate me, and like they would bully me with him because he was just so loud and proud with his lying. Now, me growing up, I was pretty quiet. I wasn't like I thought lying is bad. Lying is bad. Don't get in trouble. You don't want them to call your parents. You will get grounded. Like, you will go to detention. You will get whatever. Like, so what is wrong with them? So they took, like, Sean would take me standing up for myself, like, hey, buddy, hey, do you mind not actually, like, telling me I'm ugly and worthless all the time, and then, like, trying to make me jealous and make me feel insecure? Like, hey, can you quit that? And he's like, oh, did you just try to argue with me? All right, everybody, Morgan, she's a bad girl. She's a bad girl. We should bully her, and we should teach her a lesson. Yes, and that went on for years. That went on for years, dude. Like, wow. Dude. What? Yeah, all because he couldn't stop lying. He just could not stop lying. And I was out there telling the truth, and they're like, you're lying. I'm like, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, mm-hmm. Beautiful. Mm. Okay, and where are the parents? His mom taught him how to be that way. Unbelievable, right? Their parents taught them how to be like that. Even my own dad is evil. Okay, my dad is weird. Okay, my dad is a bit weird when it comes to that. Like, okay, he's halfway evil, and he's like halfway like super nice. I don't know. Like, I just try to stay away from my own dad. My own dad, I try to stay away from him. I try not to talk to him because, like, okay, sometimes you're evil, sometimes you're super nice. I don't want to be in the middle of that. Okay, I just don't get people like that. Like, why can't you just be stable? I don't get it. Why are we going all over the place? They really tried. They like tried to like do anything they can to try to make me like crazy like them. I don't know. I'm glad I'm not like completely crazy. I will say sometimes I do black out, but I keep myself under control a little bit. I keep myself under control better than them because I have like my limits. These people don't have limits to like their bullying and abuse. Like they don't have limits, but I have limits. Like I'm like, okay, stop. Like, yeah. You don't want to get in trouble. Yeah, really. Really. Yeah. You don't want to get in trouble. What? Dude, what? Okay, well, so these people that bullied me, this was about the time. So Sean would bully me with his friends all throughout high school and even after high school too, because I still dated Sean after high school a little bit, but that was about the time where I needed to go to college. And since I told you these people do not have limits, they messed up my college. I had a future. I'm a very hard, hard productive person. I am a very productive person. I love like my job. I love my job. I love making money. I love doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And since they have no limits, they saw that I loved making money and they're like, "Oh, well, we don't have limits." Now, that's something for me. For me to make someone like lose everything is like, "Oh, that's really bad. Don't do that. Like don't touch their school, don't touch their job, nothing." They did not care. And so his web of lies just gone too far cuz he lied and lied and lied and lied to the point where it just went like too far. And I was out there trying to go to college. I was trying to get schooling done and I had a future. Like I had a very good future. I was very talented. They would always call me needy. Oh God, I heard that. Spiritually, okay, my spiritual work, my spiritual tutorials. I heard them. Oh, you're so needy. Really? After I did all that, after how productive I am, after all the schooling that I did. All right, I'm needy, aren't I? Hmm. Not really. Oh, I heard that. I can spiritually hear them attacking me. I'm like, okay, yeah, give it up. The jig is up, bro. How many, like, they don't learn. Those people, like, this is later in life, I realized, like, oh God, those people are really dumb because they just straight up don't learn. They don't learn. They don't learn, like, the, the hard thing about this is that this was all happening, all the torture and trauma to me, it gets worse. Oh, I'm not done with the story. It gets worse. It gets worse. Because this all happened before we had research on anything. I did not understand chakras. I didn't understand clearing my energy. I did not understand meditation. I did not understand protecting my energy. I did not understand black magic. I did not understand any of those things. So I'm just like letting all this like negative energy just attack. Like I didn't know what to do. Like what am I supposed to do? Like no one ever told me anything. Like so all this horrible energy is just attaching itself to me and I'm not clearing it because no one told me. Because yeah, now you see where things are pretty bad. So basically them sending me negative energy and like wishing ill will onto me. Okay, first of all, I didn't deserve it. I was the innocent one here. Yes, I did stand up for myself a few times. um, but, I was the innocent one. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care how much this idiot wants to lie. I don't care how much this idiot lies. Oh, keep on lying, bro. But I'm innocent and I don't care. And also, he deserved me standing up for myself. We'll get into that later. But yeah, this was before I understood anything about anything. Hold on. I gotta light another black candle. Because we're still removing this. So I brought another candle. Yeah, and apparently they were like stealing my energy to like further their own careers. That's why I've been like so depressed, and like there was a time where like I couldn't do anything. Like I could just like lay in bed, sit on my computer, and like I couldn't do anything. I'm like, I'm not going outside. Outside is bad. You can get hurt outside. I'm not going. So it turns out they were just stealing my energy to like help themselves. Like again, like they do things that are so horrible that I couldn't even think of. So me stealing people's energy, like I was like, "Oh no, that sounds bad. I'm not going to do that. I'm not bad." And they were like, "Oh yeah, let's do it." I'm like, "Who raised these people? More demon spawns." Ugh. I like nice things. You like nice things. Why can't it just be nice? No, it has to be evil. Okay. Pff, you horrible waste of time. Yeah, keep lying, Sean. But I know how to manage my energy. But I know how to do energy working. And the funny thing is that Sean's third eye is probably not open and mine is. Ha 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 ha. He terrorized me for so long. And now I'm probably, if he had two brain cells, if anyone had two brain cells, they'd probably be pretty scared of me right now. Ha 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 ha. But oh wait, they're not capable of learning, right? These people were dumb. They were dumb. They were not that smart. Yes, they're evil, but they're also stupid. They were eventually, as I got older and I started learning more, they were dumb. They were pretty dumb. So, anyways, yeah, I was going to college and they would bully me through college and keep taking my energy, right? And I didn't know anything about energy working. And I couldn't finish college because of them. They would bully me so much throughout school. So I paid all this tuition money. They were laughing. They were celebrating this. Like, this was the best thing ever to them. Like, oh yeah, like we lie so much. Ha ha ha. She lost money. I lost money. Like, I paid good money for my school. I paid good money so I can get a real education. And people, like, ugh, I hate that today. Like, people would judge me. People would, like, judge me today, like, present. Like, oh, you should have gone to college. I was. Yeah, I was. Oh, well, you don't have money now because you said you should have gone. I was going to college until I was getting abused. And my parents were not really present during that. It's not like okay, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, my parents, my dad was like always at work. He didn't care. My dad is like halfway evil, halfway good. I don't know. He's just at work. He doesn't care. My mom popping pills. She's off somewhere sleeping. Um, I had nobody. I was like a quiet kid. I was like not gonna talk. I didn't talk or anything. Um, I didn't talk. I was just like getting so manipulated. Everything was a lie. Everything is manipulation. I can't like speak. My throat chakra was probably blocked. Yeah. I know my throat chakra is all blocked or whatever chakras they were blocking that I was not aware of. Whatever, right? So I had nobody. Nobody stood up for me. Nobody knew my story. Everybody like but Sean, he would just like blab off. He would just talk 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 all night, all the time, get on Discord. I need to talk, 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 talk. All he ever did was just like lie and talk. And they were able to scream louder than I was because like they knew it too. These people, they knew that I didn't want to deal with drama. Like no one wants to deal with drama. They knew that. So I would like try to put myself away, like get myself out of the drama a little bit, not say anything. I don't want to stir up drama. I don't want to talk. And they knew that. And so they took advantage of it and they kept lying, kept lying. And so, yeah, I spent a lot of money on school and they ruined everything. I was not able to finish because they were abusing me so bad that I had to quit going to school because I was too depressed. I had to move my location and get away from him. Yeah, and I miss that money a lot. It was thousands and thousands. I miss it. I could use it. They would always think it's so funny. Like, oh, haha, we made her lose thousands of dollars. Oh, you know what was the joke? It was a stupid Sponge. I know, I wish that episode of SpongeBob never existed. How many times do we need to teach you this lesson, old man? It was funny because the old man didn't deserve it. Yeah, I hate that episode of SpongeBob. I'm like, why would you teach people that? Oh, why did you get that? Why did you teach that one? Why? How many times do we need to teach you this lesson, old man? It's funny because the old man didn't deserve it. Do you catch my drift here? Ha ha ha, we made her lose thousands of dollars. Ha ha ha, she was so in love. She must be crazy. Sean, you're a bitch. You are a horrible, horrible person from the lowest pit of hell. And so that Sean, they were taking my energy so much that he actually became like famous on Twitch, and he was like a pro like gamer. Like he had a video game, he got really good at it, he was pro. He had all these fans, all these sponsorships. Really soul crushing because I'm like, that guy was so horrible and now he's super successful and everybody loves him. Oh my god. Do you have any idea? Like, I'm just like out here getting beat up, and I'm like, I'm an innocent person. I mean well. I'm really nice. Like, I just want to have fun. I want to be happy. I want to laugh with my friends. I want to have a good time. Why are you being? What's going on? Ah, and I like, I'm helpless. No one is there for me. No one stand up for me. No one listens to me. Nothing. No one listens to anything. That was crazy. Yeah, everybody loves my abuser. And if I called him an abuser, all of his fans would be like, oh, you're jealous that he's famous. No, he's actually a bad person. He's actually a horrible person. No, he's actually a bad person. So Sean, he would use black magic. Okay, yeah. He would use energy working to attach bad energy to me. And he was able to call in my next horrible ex. This other ex, his name is Luis. Sean used black magic to call in Luis. Why? And energy working. I'm the crazy. Okay, at this point, I'm a lost cause. I'm crazy. I'm worthless. I have no school. I have no future. Ha ha ha, we did it. So, Sean used black magic to call in Luis. And Luis almost killed me 3 times. Like, I was very close to being dead 3 times. Oh, also, he was an R word, like grape. Yeah, I was pretty afraid that, a backdoor grape, I was pretty afraid that my organs were going to get torn out and I was going to die right there. And then after the damage, I learned how to do energy working. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Wow. Yeah. So Luis was horrible. Okay, don't get me wrong. Like the only reason why I was in these relationships, Luis was a Libra. Yeah. I liked it. Okay, listen. The reason why I was even in these relationships is because we were a good couple. We were having fun. Everything was fine, but for some reason, they were from the devil, and I have no idea why you enjoy inflicting pain onto others if you're in love, because that's not what love is. So, yeah, I thought I was gonna die right there. Ooh, I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. um, yeah. So um, Luis. He was a horrible guy. He was the dumbest, laziest, horrible person, and they enjoy being this way. They they spent so much time trying to make me feel like I was worthless when all it did was make me look at like they're the losers. Like, okay, well, you're lazy. You don't care about things that are nice. You're the real loser, obviously. Oh. So, Luis, everything was like super beautiful. Loved it. Love Libras. I love that Libra. Like, love it. Amazing. Um, but he had that weird problem too where he was just like a demon. Like, I'm out here thinking like, oh, this is a great relationship. I'm so happy. You're a demon? Okay. All right. You're a demon. Yeah, so like it's not like I was like a creep. Like I'm not that irresponsible. Like obviously we had a relationship. But I started living with Luis and I really loved my jobs. Like I was really successful with him because all right, when you're in love, that energy is so powerful. Even if they're not that good to you. But the fact that you are in love with someone and you have a connection with someone and you're always like super close with them, that energy is so powerful. Like I was able to get like beat up. Like this dude was like almost killing me. Like I was almost dead with this guy, and just because I had love, I was still able to like make mountains move. It's crazy. Love is the best. It's the best. I love it. Um so yeah, even if someone's beating you up, if you're in love, like you can still like it's nothing. It's nothing. You can still get really, 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 really far with that. Like you can make tons of money. You can make like I don't know, like you will be so successful still. Yeah. Mm. So Luis, I was really happy. We were having a great time. Like everything was fun. It was entertaining. We had hobbies together. Great. Um, Eventually, I figure out after I move in with this guy, he starts cheating on me. Like immediately, I'm like, what? I, hello, I live in the same room as you. Are you blind? Are you blind? And he's like, I'll cheat. Like, that's cool. I forgave him because I'm like, I just move all my stuff here. I'm so tired. I'll forgive him. We'll work it out. We did. And I dated him for like 3 years, right? Then I realized he was lazy and horrible. But I was so successful. Me being like the amazing, perfect person I am, like near perfect. I mean, come on. I like doing a good job. Come on. Come on. could be like, oh, you're not that perfect yourself. Victim blaming, Listen, I like to do a good job. I like it when things smell nice. I like it when things are clean. I like it when I have good food and money. Come on. Come on. Now shut up. Victim blaming who? Everyone likes to eat good food. Everyone likes to have a little something nice. Don't even start with that. Like, really. Yeah. So yeah. Since all that negative energy, all that bad energy was still attached to me from Sean, it came in with Luis, and Sean's bad energy called in Luis, and Luis was like a cheater, lazy. He would not do his part. He wouldn't clean. He wouldn't work. I was doing all the work because like I was so happy. I was so in love. I'm thinking everything is fine. Um, I was really successful. I made a lot of money. I'd made like $70,000 a year, which was really nice for my age. For me being that age, I'm like, yes. Um, so I was the one like holding everything down. I was the one doing all the work. But, and then when I came home from work, he would start hurting me. And then when I was sleeping, he would start hurting me. Like, this dude did not care about me at all. He's like, oh, I need to be on Discord with the boys. I need to be playing video games. Um, and I let him because I'm like, oh, whatever. I love you. I will help you. Yeah, like, oh, no, no. Like, listen, I do anything. Like, when I'm in love like that, I will do anything. It's so beautiful. Like, I am genuinely beautiful. Like, it's so beautiful. Like, I was like, oh, I make enough money. I make a lot of money. So you can stay at home. I don't care. Like, I'll pay. I'm fine. I can make money. So I didn't think anything of it because I'm like, oh, I love you so much. You're so precious. Oh, no, listen. So the agreement was that, oh, he's going to go to school. He's going to go to college and I'm going to work and I'm going to help him. He went to college for like one semester. He's like, oh, I'm not doing this. I'm going to sit on Discord with the boys. And I was like out here, like working my buns off. Like I was really tired. I was getting really tired. And I was like, what? You're not going back to school? What's going on? Right? So I'm out here under the impression, okay, here's the thing. When everything begins, you're under the impression like, okay, well, he's going to college while I'm working, so I'm just going to help him go through college and then he's going to help me, right? So I'm just like supporting this guy, thinking he's going to college, and then he's like, no, I stopped going. I'm just like playing video games with my friends. We don't care. And like they would bully me too. They would like talk bad about me too. Like, really, after all I did for you, after all the things that I paid for, after all the hard work, he wouldn't clean. After I would go work all day and like long shifts, I would be gone all day. And then he'd be like, why aren't you cleaning? I'm like, you were here all day. You clean. I would come back, nothing is done. You clean. What? You're at home all day doing college, quote unquote, like, or yeah, sarcasm, college. College. Yeah, you were here with college and I'm at work all day. Why do I have to clean? You're already home. You do it. And he's like, no, you do it. So I was just getting whipped. All I know is like work. That's all I do. And they like it. They enjoy seeing me like getting whipped like a slave. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. So yeah, they really enjoyed watching me work like a slave. Uh, I was getting overworked so much. Okay, he would also think it's funny. Like he was so immature. Luis would like wake me up while I was sleeping. And okay, listen, there were times where I was like, okay, I prepared everything for the next day. I'm going to have a good day at work. This is going to be fun. This is going to be great. He would wake me up in the middle of the night with his like friends like laughing at something. I'm like, okay, can you please? Why do these dudes not care about a job? The fact that I would be fine without them. Like, I don't know, dude. I don't know what is going on through their head, and I don't want to know, honestly. I could not. And so, yeah, I was doing all this work. Like, I really go above and beyond in like such a beautiful way in a relationship. I'm single, by the way. Oh, yeah, I'm single, by the way. I'm single and I make a lot of money. I can make a lot of money if you treat me right. Um, Also, I fought both of those people, like Luis and Sean. There was the abuse was getting so painful, um, that I ended up hitting both of them in their sleep. I waited till they were sleeping and I just yanked their hair and started punching them. I was so, oh, she's so bad. Like, oh yeah, no, no, you don't know what you put me through for 3 years. I waited for 3 years, each of them. Each of them, I gave them 3 years' time to get their act together. I gave them 3 years' time each. Each of them, I give you 3 years to get your act together. 3 years to get your act together. We're still dating and you're still treating me like this. Are you surprised? Is this really surprising to you? Yeah, I waited till they were asleep. I just yanked their hair and I started punching them. It was awesome, and I did not get in trouble because low key, they knew they deserved it, so they never called the cops. I never got in trouble for that because, oh yeah, maybe you know you deserve it. Oh, don't call the cops. Haha, we kind of deserved it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm single, by the way. Hello. Awesome. Yeah, Luis was a rapist in the back door. And then, oh, he would keep the AC on. Okay, I would tell him, like, hey, can you please turn the AC off? It's the middle of winter. It does not need to be this cold in here. I wake up one day, I'm thinking, like, oh, I'll have a good day at work. I love work. I love my job. And so I wake up with half of my head frozen. Like, I had frost nip. It wasn't like frost bite, it was frost nip on half of my head. And I'm like, I still have to be at work. I have a massive migraine right now. I am frozen to my core. Like, he would freeze me. He would exhaust me. He would, like, make me work more. Like, he would grape, like, he knew I had to work and he was like, "Oh, do more work. When you get home, you're doing more work." And I'm like, I am getting so tired." And it got to the point where I was getting so tired to the point where I accidentally hurt myself. And today, to this day, I am still paying a bill, like a massive bill, from an accident. And I struggle paying that every single month. One more year and I'm finally free. But on paper, okay, so listen, so he was abusing me, so it's his fault, right? But in the papers, on the documents, everything is in my name because I got hurt. So that's my hospital bill. It's not a hospital bill, it's something else. I don't want to get too deep into my own personal information, but it's not a hospital bill. But everything was in my name. So yes, he was the one hurting me. It was his fault. He hurt me. He got me into the accident. But on paper, everyone thinks it's my fault again. I'm bad again. Yes. Because somebody else could not get it together. Somebody else could not be organized and productive and clean and friendly like me, because I like nice things. And so on paper, it looks like it was me. And to this day, like, I'm about to sell my laptop to help pay for the bill, the horrible bill. I pay, like, people these days, like, um, these days, like, currently, people judge me for my age. I'm 26 now. Okay, yeah, you're 26 and, or 26 this year in May. Hey, I'm a May Gemini. I'm the nice one. I'm the very soft. My Chinese zodiac sign is a rabbit. Bunnies. You are a May Gemini, the nice one, the soft, gentle Gemini. Yeah, they would just go ham. Soft bunny. Oh, cute. Gentle Gemini. Oh, cute. Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah, they just like didn't care. They were just like, oh yeah, hurt her. Make sure she wants to die. I'm like, like what? Yeah, like that's like okay. So yeah, to this day, people judge me for my age. I'm 25, turning 26 this year, and how come you don't have money? You look like a broke bitch. You look so broke. How come you can't afford things like us? How come you can't go buy things that you want? How come? Yeah, because when does it end? Like, I had no say in any of that. All right, do what you want to me then. I guess this has been going on for really, really long. I'll make a part two. I'll make a part two because I need to get off. It's getting like really late and I don't want to wake up my neighbors. So I'll make a part two of this. I hope this was like interesting or entertaining. Anyways, we'll make different parts of this. I got stories. I got more. I got more. This wasn't it. This wasn't the whole thing. I have a lot more to be talking about. A lot more. But yeah, I'll make multiple parts. It's quite the Odyssey adventure. It's quite the Odyssey. It's a saga. It's like the Twilight Saga. It was, but like worse, and like not romantic. And there was, maybe a little vampires. Maybe a little bit vampires. All right. I'll see you next time.